This is the Arsenal starting 11.
Well, it's a 4-3-3 with two out-and-out wingers, but they do vary their movement. They give width, but they also make diagonal runs infield when the ball's on the opposite flank. Their performances will be key today.
Here's how the lineup looks for Aston Villa.
Well, it's a 4-3-3 formation with a centre-forward and two wingers. So it's important that the midfield players give support to the striker whenever the ball goes wide. They can't allow him to be isolated.
Here's how it looks for Bournemouth.
Well, the two wide players are great in 1v1 situations, and their movement is also very good. But it's the midfield three that will need to control the flow of the game.
This is the initial 11 for Burnley.
Well, this system gives them a good defensive base. A well-drilled back four, a solid midfield with wide players tucking in, and two forwards who can press the ball. But does it provide enough fluidity going forward? I'm never sure.
And so this, the team for Cardiff City.
Well, they're playing with a midfield diamond, so key to their success will be the holding midfielder and the player in the number 10 position. They really need to influence the game here today.
And a look at the Chelsea starting 11.
Well, it's a 4-3-3 formation with a centre-forward and two wingers. So it's important that the midfield players give support to the striker whenever the ball goes wide. They can't allow him to be isolated.
This is the team Crystal Palace have picked.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how the wingers play today. Will they stay high and wide? Will they come in field and support the centre-forward? And how deep will they come out of possession? They're going to be key to this formation.
And here's how Everton line up. Jordan Pickford stands between the posts. John Stones starts alongside Michael Keane in central defence. And the idea is to have just the one striker up there trying to pose problems for the opposition. A look at the Leeds United starting 11.
Well, on paper, they look a very balanced team. But the three advanced midfielders must at times make runs beyond the centre-forward. Otherwise, they might just lack a bit of penetration.
Well, here's how Leicester City will line up.
Well, although we have it down as a 4-5-1, it's actually more likely to be a 4-2-3-1. They play with two holding midfield players, a number 10 and two wingers. The system has a nice balance to it.
Let's take a look at the Liverpool starting 11.
Well, what you see is the centre-forward dropping deep into midfield and the wide players making runs into the space he vacates. But that only causes a problem if the opposition get dragged out of position. However, they do play it well, you have to say.
And here's the Manchester City lineup.
Well, they play without a main centre-forward, but it's the wide players that end up through the middle. And they also look to get their fullbacks into advanced positions to deliver some great crosses. On their day, they're very difficult to negate.
Well, Manchester United have chosen this particular shape. Chris Smalling plays alongside Phil Jones in central defence. And leading the attack on his own today is Danny Welbeck. So the starting 11 for Newcastle United.
Well, for a while, everybody played with a 4-4-2, and it can still be a very good system. But it does rely very much on your front two getting the better of their markers, and the wide midfield players being good in 1v1 situations. Let's hope they play it well today.
There's the Norwich City starting 11.
Well, they're playing in a 4-5-1 formation, which is set up to counter-attack at pace. Yes, they'll play with a flat midfield out of possession, but when they win the ball back, they'll break forward really quickly. Let's hope they play it well today.
And here's how it looks for Southampton.
Well, this system gives them a good defensive base. A well-drilled back four, a solid midfield with wide players tucking in, and two forwards who can press the ball. But does it provide enough fluidity going forward? I'm never sure.
This is the starting lineup for Tottenham Hotspur. Kyle Walker plays with Kyle Walker-Peters in the fullback positions, and so many different ways to configure an attack. In this case, it'll be two men up front. And the starting 11 for Watford.
Well, they're playing in a 4-5-1 formation, which is set up to counter-attack at pace. Yes, they'll play with a flat midfield out of possession, but when they win the ball back, they'll break forward really quickly. Let's hope they play it well today.
And the starting lineup for West Ham United.
Well, on paper, they look a very balanced team, but the three advanced midfielders must at times make runs beyond the centre forward. Otherwise, they might just lack a bit of penetration.
The initial 11 for Wolves.
Well, when you see it like that, their central midfield players look a little bit isolated. But I'm expecting the two fullbacks to push up to make it more of a 3-4-3. And I think we'll see a lot of positional rotation in this starting 11.
Murky. Lie. My brothers don't die, we just rusty bark. I tell your girl to link me at the coffee shop. Getting freaky in the sheets, we're taking body shots. Then I finish with a facial just to top it off. Ay, my brothers don't die, we just rusty bark. I tell your girl to link me at the coffee shop. Getting freaky in the sheets, we're taking body shots. Then I finish with a facial just to top it off. Ay, you ain't got a clue, let's be honest. I had a couple seasons made a forest. I put in the work and take the profit. Looking at my girl like what a goddess. Thank God. Rule number 2, don't make the promise. If you can't keep the deal, then just be honest. I can never die, I'm Chuck Norris. Fuck the government and fuck Boris, yeah. I'm a villain, killing when I'm barring. Brothers in the hood just like the movie that I'm starring. Servicing my whip, I phone the boss to bring my car in. I could probably take a chick, but I just wouldn't cause she's jarring. Ooh, I got the sauce. Don't know what you for. Catch me up and slowing in my sliders and my shorts. Chick's trying to get my brother flips to share his thoughts. I think he's trying to tell me I should tell her he don't talk, I don't fuck with her. Yeah, I used to hit it, but you're stuck with her. Man, I wouldn't even try my luck with her. Yeah, let's say I'm bougie, way too exclusive. Chilling in Dubai, know I get it all inclusive. Now may I ask if you can find it in your spirit? To leave us all alone and go and mind your fucking business. Looking in the mirror saying my key or the illest. When I'm James Bond trying to live my movie like I'm Idris. So we telling them, look, my brothers don't die, we just rusty bop. I tell you, I got to link me at the coffee shop. Getting freaky in the sheets, we're taking body shots. Then I finish with a facial just to top it off. My brothers don't die, we just rusty bop. I tell you, I got to link me at the coffee shop. Getting freaky in the sheets, we're taking body shots. Then I finish with a facial just to top it off. My brothers don't die, we just rusty bop. So much rusty, I might open up a rusty shop. Mommy saying that I need to get some sleep. All this flying overseas is always fucking up my body clock. And all this stress has got me racking up my brain. So tell these little fishes back up off my name. I ain't gotta be a rapper with a chain, cause the rules are kinda different when you're badding up the game. Straight, badding up the game, bad it up again. Had them up before, I have them up again. Fake brothers, man, you man, I'm more pretend. You see by himself, he's battling with his friends. You man are so insecure, man, it's a joke. I need a ball in the York, cause I'm the ghost. If you believe in your source, then raise a toast. These are some genius thoughts, so make the most, bro, then say me some. I need all the homage, could you pay me some? Man, I'm dropping bangers on your baby mums. Girls say I'm rude, they wanna see me nude. My name's Stiff Chocolate, I got nothing left to prove. I got holes in my lapel, rubbing shoulders with your girl. Which one of them said that I will go to jail? Well, I guess you have to hold the L. Tell them this is London City, we the hottest in the world. But we telling them, look, my brothers don't die, we just rusty bop. I tell you, got to link me at the coffee shop. Getting freaky in the sheets, we're taking body shots. Then I finish with the fish just to top it off. My brothers don't die, we just rusty bop. I tell you, got to link me at the coffee shop. Getting freaky in the sheets, we're taking body shots. Then I finish with the fish just to top it off.
Well, for some of these players, it'll be the pinnacle of their careers. They just have to take it all in now and realise what they've achieved here. It doesn't come much better than this, does it? And just look at those fans. They've followed their club everywhere.
Really a match made in heaven between players and fans. And these celebrations are going to continue for quite some time. And this is always part of the fun, Stuart, the photographs.
Well, this photo will be hanging up in the study for years to come, won't it? just make sure you're in that front row. That would be my advice.
So there we have it, the league champions.